All right, folks, story time. Once upon a time, America said, "No more kings, no more taxes." We dumped tea, yelled freedom, and built our own country. But here's the twist. We kicked out a king and accidentally crowned a new one. Money. In 1913, Congress created something called the Federal Reserve. Sounds official, right? But it's basically a private club of bankers that controls America's money supply. Now, when the government needs money, it doesn't print it, it borrows it from the Fed. And the Fed says, "Sure thing, just pay us back with interest." Congratulations, America! You just opened your first credit card, and it never gets paid off.
After World War II, everyone wanted the American dream. Work hard, buy a home, retire happy. Sounds perfect, right? Except every part of that dream came with a price tag. College, loan. House, loan. Even your phone, payment plan. They told you debt builds your credit, but in reality, it builds their system. You work, you pay, they print more money, prices rise, and somehow they call that growth. Then came 1971. President Nixon said, "Let's stop backing the dollar with gold." And just like that, money stopped being real. Now it's backed by trust and a little bit of hope. When you print too much money, prices skyrocket and your savings lose value. That's not inflation, that's legalized pickpocketing. Fast forward to today, America owes over $34 trillion. Every second, the debt clock ticks higher. And who pays for that? You. Through taxes, bills, and the $6 coffee you bought this morning. Tastes like debt. Here's how the system works. You earn, you spend, you pay taxes, the government borrows, prints more, prices rise, repeat. They don't need you broke, they just need you owing. But here's the secret. You can step off the wheel. Don't just trade time for paper. Own things that make money while you sleep. Assets, skills, ideas. The system was designed to keep you in debt, but you can build your own system. Then came the 1980s. Big hair, bigger spending. America discovered the magic plastic, the credit card. You thought you owned the card, but the card owned you. The government didn't need to trap you anymore. They let the banks do it for them. You work, they lend, you spend, they collect interest. Congratulations, you're the product. The student loan scheme. Next level of the trap, education. They told you college was the golden ticket. Instead, you bought your ticket into lifelong debt. The government helps you with student loans, but where does that money go? Straight to universities that raise tuition every year. Education became a business, and you, the perfect customer. Once upon a time, owning a house meant you made it. Post-World War II, soldiers came home, got jobs, and banks handed out low-interest loans like candy. Back then, homes were affordable. One job could buy you a house, raise a family, and still have savings for a white picket fence. America. But then the dream got upgraded. Banks realized they could make billions selling the dream, not living it. Mortgages became Wall Street's favorite toy. They bundled home loans, sold them as safe investments, and told everyone housing never crashes. People were buying homes they couldn't afford, and banks didn't care because the moment you signed, they sold your loan to someone else. It wasn't about your dream home, it was about their dream profits. Then, boom, the bubble popped. Millions lost their homes, families, veterans, teachers. And when it all came crashing down, the government bailed out the banks. They called it a bailout. I call it the biggest magic trick in modern history. Now, the same people who crashed the system own your houses, your rent, your future. That's not a dream, kid. That's a mortgage masquerade, a 30-year trap dressed up as freedom. Ah, the American dream. Study hard, get into college, and life will be golden. That's what they told you, right? Next level of the trap? Education. They said college was your ticket to success, but really, you just bought your ticket into lifelong debt. Back in the 1950s, the government started pushing college loans. They said it would make America smarter and stronger. National Defense Education Act, 1958. Sounds noble, right? Then came the 1960s and 70s. Universities realized, hey, the government's paying, so they raised tuition every single year. By the 1990s, the student loan business was booming, like Wall Street with textbooks. The government guaranteed the loans, banks made the profits, and students carried the weight. Now it's a $1 trillion bubble. You're told education is priceless, but trust me, it's got a very clear price tag. Education became a business. Universities sell dreams. Banks sell loans. And you're the perfect repeat customer. You wanted freedom, but they sold you financial obedience instead.
And now we're entering the next chapter, digital money. The same old system, just without paper. Easier to track, easier to control. They'll sell it as innovation, faster payments, smarter economy. But remember, when money's digital, so is your freedom. Make one wrong move, and boom, your access to life turns off. So before they plug you in, learn how to unplug. We've come full circle, kid. From gold to paper, from paper to code. But here's the truth. You don't beat the system by fighting it. You beat it by building your own. Learn money, own assets, teach others. Because every empire collapses eventually, but builders, they last forever. So wake up, America. The game's rigged, but the players just got smarter.